We have a jury question. So let's pull this up. Um,
All right, go back on the record.
Candace.
This is on State of Florida versus Lawrence Doherty. Jury is out. The jury has provided a question. The question indicates, can we be provided with the time the officer, and then in parentheses, Morris, arrived to the scene, and it is signed and dated by the foreperson. Only for the record, both the state defense and Mr. Doherty are present. My notes indicate that there was some indication that that time was at 1:30. I've asked the court reporter to find that section of the testimony in the transcript for a readback. She has that prepared. My intent would be to have them call in or have them brought in, have that question and answer read to them, and send them back out.
There you go. I think that's a good question.
No objection. Okay. And let's go ahead and bring the jurors back in.
What time did Officer Morris arrive at the scene? That's the guy that did the chest compressions, didn't search the car, but was trying to save the life.
All right, go ahead and have a seat. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I did receive a question from you all that indicates that you want to be provided with the time the officer, I believe that was Corporal Morris, who testified first, arrived at the scene, and it is signed and dated by the foreperson. You have to rely upon the evidence that was provided during the trial. I did have the court reporter locate that information in the transcript, and so she's going to read to you as part of a readback the question and the answer as it relates to that question. Okay?
Question, and did you have occasion on that day around 1:30 a.m. to respond to 2529 Secret Forest Drive in Orlando? Answer, yes, I did.
So the time is in the question from the whoever, I think it was the prosecutor. Did you have on the occasion the opportunity to arrive at 1:30 a.m.? And he says, yes, I did.
All right, that's the only evidence that we have that was provided as it relates from Corporal Morris that's responsive to the question, okay? All right, so you're free to go back and continue your deliberations at this time.
I think defense thinks it's a good question for them. Any ideas, chat? Reading the tea leaves on the question? I mean, maybe it's going into the timeline. Could someone have removed a gun from the car? Or when did this all happen? How long did this event
We will be in recess again
over?
until such time as we have a question or a verdict. Again, remain within 10 to 15 minutes walk or return to the courtroom. All right, thank you all. Thank you.
There we go. That was a quick little jury question. And I don't know, sometimes juries can ask questions because one person has a question or they're trying to reason with each other and they're trying to look at everything, right? Or they could be just making sure, like, hey, if we think that they showed up at this point, then this would make us feel this way. So I don't know if we can read too much into that, but I think it's a good question. Happy Andy, maybe a little indication that the timeline's important to them, that it would make a difference if maybe he showed up late, or maybe they're trying to decide if he's trying to do chest compressions, that if he dies right at this point in time, he's not responsive, they can't bring him back to life, he's unresponsive. maybe they're going to conclude elements of the murder being proven or manslaughter being caused by this shot that was fired by Lawrence Dority. So it could be as simple as that. The element death was caused by this gunshot, which I don't really think is what they're debating, but you never know. I don't know. Touche says, I haven't been able to watch his testimony yet or the closing. What's the consensus? Well, we did a poll, and I think our results were something like 39% not guilty. And then the split was like maybe like 28 guilty on second degree murder. And then the remaining percentage was guilty for manslaughter, a lesser included. If you went over to the Law and Crime Chats poll, Law and Crimes poll, and they might still have it up. No, I think they took the poll down. So no poll there. Yeah, quick question, Aaron. They already went back in. It was, what time did Officer Morris arrive? And they only had, through questioning and a yes as the answer, around 1:30 a.m. was the time that Officer Morris said he arrived. Yeah, Tay-Biz, I would just say this. They're just doing their due diligence. So there's that. We could, if you guys want, I could leave. I don't know. So I'm in Florida. I'm the same time, right? I don't know if they've had their lunch yet. So I don't know if they're going to take a break and go eat their lunch, or maybe they can continue deliberating, or maybe they're like close on their decision here. But I think because they're going to have this lunch break, probably shut this off. We'll come back if there's another question or a verdict. Should I redirect again? We'll redirect to Taylor this time. Let's see. And of course, let me know if you think anything of these questions. Christine, good to see you. I was gonna say it's been a while, but I've seen you in other chats. I forget where, maybe like Ian Runkle's chat somewhat recently. So I hope you've been doing well. Good to see you here. Thanks for being a member for 9 months. And then, oh, are you live? Let's see. Oh, sweet. Let's go over there. Are you doing the... Oh, I keep wanting to say queso, but it's queso. Let's do that. Let's go redirect to Christine. Another Florida trial. What if they ask a question every 5 minutes just to toy with us? We have to keep coming back up on a live with the questions. Well, let's go check out more Trial Watch with Christine. That will be awesome. We're just doing the world tour, the tour to Italy, the tour to YouTube today. And there we go, you guys. So that was the question. What time did Officer Morris arrive? And we've got around 1:30. So we'll be back with future questions or a verdict. And until then, see you in the YouTube streets. Bye, guys.